Hi, I'm Julie Weber of Liberate Ministries, and today's topic is called Come Out of the Wilderness. Let's unpack the Bible's interpretation of 3 points. Number 1, taking a life and the life of an unborn child. Number 2, how children are a gift. And number 3, Moses, a leader from the Bible who murdered someone, and God still used him. Some of today's teaching is quoted from my Lady Liberty workbook on pages 39 through 40. Number 1, the Bible's interpretation of taking a life. The Bible doesn't say literally that you should not abort your child, and it doesn't use the term abortion. However, it does say that you should not kill. Exodus 20:13 reads, "You shall not murder." The following 2 verses talk about a special spot for children in God's heart. We are warned not to hinder them or harm them. Matthew 19:14 says, "But Jesus said, 'Let the children alone, and do not hinder them from coming to me, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these.'" And in Luke 17:2, "It is better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea, than that he would cause one of these little ones to stumble." So even though the Bible doesn't come right out and say the words, "Do not abort your babies," it does give us some clues as to how God feels towards children. Based on scripture, I believe we can agree that abortion clearly hinders and harms children from coming to Jesus in the life He created them to have here on earth. So what does the Bible say about taking the life of an unborn child? Exodus 21:22 through 23. I am reading the NIV translation for this next scripture teaching. "If men who are fighting hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but there is no serious injury, the offender must be fined whatever the woman's husband demands and the court allows. But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life." John Piper and Arthur and Pastor gives us greater understanding on the interpretation of the above verse in his article Exodus 21:22 through 25 and abortion. He states what the NIV Bible translation of the verse implies, that the child is born alive and that the penalty of life for life, eye for eye, etc. applies to the child as well as the mother. If injury comes to the child or the mother, there will not just be a fine, but life for life, eye for eye, etc. The interpretation gives the unborn child the same rights under the law as his or her mother. To summarize, if the unborn child dies as a result of the fight, the penalty is the life of the one causing the death. For further study of the context of this verse, read the entire article by John Piper on the website information attached to this video. Number 2, how children are a gift. Psalm 127:3 through 5. "Behold, children are a gift of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. How blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be ashamed." The verse above highlights some serious consequences of abortion. First, by aborting, we destroy the gift that God gave us personally. The verse describes children as a reward. It is sad when you think that the Creator of the universe has given us a personal gift of a child, but we choose to destroy the gift through abortion. The verse also talks about how important children are to us when it says they are like arrows in the hand of a warrior. We all know that a warrior without his arrows is ineffective and incomplete. In addition, the verse talks about how it is a blessing to have many children. So when we reduce the number of children that we give birth to through abortion, we also reduce the blessing that we could have received from those children. Finally, having many children blesses us and will keep us from being ashamed. In Bible days, it was especially shameful for women who were unable to have children. Even today, the same can be true. Women who are unable to have children often feel awkward, isolated, and left out, particularly among mothers whose conversations naturally turn toward their children. You may feel that the way you conceived your children was a mistake. Wrong man, wrong time, wrong circumstances, just wrong. The circumstances may not have been right, but know this, there is no such thing as a mistaken child. Children are a gift from the Lord. He was prepared to give you the gift of a child regardless of the way you conceived. What was unplanned for you was not a surprise to the Lord. There really are no accidents or unplanned pregnancies from God's perspective. Children come into this world in so many different ways. And while God does want us to conceive our children in the safety and the security of a marriage relationship, the ideal is not always the norm. Number 3, Moses was a leader from the Bible who murdered someone, and God still used him. Moses' story picks up in Exodus 2:11-15 in the Message. So time passed. Moses grew up. One day he went and saw his brothers, saw all their hard labor. Then he saw an Egyptian hit a Hebrew, one of his relatives. He looked this way and then that. When he realized there was no one in sight, he killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand. The next day he went out there again. 2 Hebrew men were fighting. He spoke to the man who started it. "Why are you hitting your neighbor?" And the man shot back, "Who do you think you are, telling us what to do? Are you going to kill me the way you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses panicked. Word's gotten out. People know about this. Pharaoh heard about it and tried to kill Moses, but Moses got away to the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Moses' story resonates with me the most. He murders a man in broad daylight, panics, and is so ashamed he runs away. If you read the rest of his story into the next few chapters, he ends up being in Midian, the wilderness, for 40 years. When he meets God at Horeb, the mountain of God, God asks him to deliver the Israelites out of bondage in Egypt. Moses questions God, asking, "Why me? I'm not a good speaker. I stutter with words and they won't listen to me." God says, "I will be with you." Moses continues to argue with God, and God reminds him that he made the human mouth and that he would be there teaching him what to say. Moses continues to argue with God. Then God just gets angry and tells him to take his brother Aaron. I think after Moses killed a man, he lost his self-respect and had a low self-worth. It's interesting how God spoke to Moses first when he came to Horeb with a supernatural act of a burning bush when the bush wasn't really burning. I think God wanted to get Moses' attention. Then Moses has an encounter with God. God needed Moses to rise up and do his purpose of why he was put on this earth, to deliver the Israelite people out of bondage into freedom. God couldn't let 40 years turn into 41 years of wilderness. I ran away after I took the life of my unborn child, and I was in the wilderness for 20 years. We all have a purpose of why we were put on this earth. Our abortions wounded us and took us off the path for a while. Now it's time to come out of the wilderness. Moses did come out of the wilderness, and God used him to become one of Israel's great leaders, performing many supernatural miracles that changed the course of history for the Israelites in the Old Testament. God loves you, and He wants to have an encounter with you like He did with Moses and me. Thanks for watching. Live life liberated.